Hello guys, welcome to the next video tutorial on Java programming for beginners. And in this video, we will see what are array lists and how we can use array lists in Java. Now, before this, we have seen how we can declare and use simple arrays. And the problem with those arrays were that we have to provide the initial or the size of the array, and the size of the array in those cases were fixed, and it's really hard in real programming practices to change the size of the array using simple arrays. Now Java also provides a library called util, and in this util library there is a keyword called Arraylist, and this Arraylist helps us to maintain and use dynamic arrays. So unlike the simple arrays whose size is hard to change, these array lists are dynamically created and used. So you can decrease or increase or clear these array lists whatever you want. Now to use this array list, you need to import this util library. So just write import java dot util dot array list, and this will add this class called Arraylist to your program. And if you want to go inside this class, you can just hover over this and control and click on this, and this is the inbuilt Java Arraylist class. You can go inside. Okay. Now to declare an array list in Java, you just need this keyword called Arraylists. So just use this keyword called Arraylist, and then in these angular bracket you can give the data type of the array you want to have. For example, you want to create an integer array, we just write integer, and then my list is the name of the array, not here, but it should come outside these angular brackets like this. My list is equal to new array list, and then once again integer, and then here you can give the initial size, and this is not the fixed size, this is the initial size you want to provide. This size can be changed, it can be increased or decreased depending upon your requirement. Now to add values to the array, you just need the variable name and then just write add, and in here you can add any value. For example, at index 1 we want to add 1, and in a similar way you can add values one by one here. So for example, second number is 5, third is 3, and we will add two more numbers, for example 6 and 9, 93, whatever. Okay. So now for example, I want to access those values, I can use advanced for loop for iterating over this list. So what I can do is I can just write integer x, and then in here from my list I can iterate these values. So in here I can just write sys o control shift, and in here I can just iterate over my list using x. Okay, and once I run the program, it just prints all the values of the arrays, 5 values. So 5 5 times we can print the values. Okay. Now in order to get the size of the array, you can do something like this. So you can just write system.out.print, and then the name of your list or array list, which is my list here, and then dot size, and this gives you the size of the array. Okay, so this is the function inside our array list, and this gives the size. Here you can see 5. To make it more clear, I can just say size is equal to, and then this plus, so that we can see the size. And it says size is equal to 5. Okay, which is true because our array contains 1 2 3 4 5 elements. So bear in mind this size shows the number of element contained by the array, not the initial size we have provided. For example, we have provided initial size as 5, but we have only added 3 values to the array, right? And now once we run the program, it says size is equal to 3. So this size is not indicating the initial size, which is this one, but this indicates the number of element contained by the array. So we have added only 3 elements, then the size will be 3. Now using this array list, you can even remove the values. For example, I have once again 5 values. I will add 2 more values to the array, and these are some more values. And for example, I want to remove this element at index 2, because index of array list also starts from 0. So the index starts from 0 1 2 3 and 4. So I want to delete the element 3 which is at index 2. So I can just use the array, my array, which is this one, and then I can call a method called dot remove, and here I can give the index. So I want to remove, for example, here at index 2 the value is 555, and I want to remove this 555 from here. So I will just write 2, index 2, and then I will just once again print this array after removing the value, and I will also see the size, what is the size of this array after removing this value. So I will run this program, and you can see initially our array contains 5 values and size was 5, but when we call this method remove 2 at index 2, then our size becomes 4 and 555 is removed from the array from here, right? You can see here. Now there is a method called clear, by which you can even clear all the values from the array. So just mylist dot clear, and then using this clear you can just clear all the values from the array. So initially the size of the array was 5, but when you call this method on your list, the size becomes 0, right? Now for example, you want to change some value in your array. For example, I want to change this value 1, which is at index 0, to 100. I can do this something like this. So your array name, then set, and then it takes two arguments. One is the index, so I want to change the value at index 0 because 1 is at index 0, and I want to change the value of 1 to 100. So second value is 100, or second argument is 100. And now when I run the program, the size remains same, but the value here, earlier it was 1, now it became 100. Okay, so in this way you can use these array list in Java. It contains many more methods. For example, when I just use this variable name mylist, and when I just use dot separator, it will give you suggestions, and here it will give you some more suggestions, like you can clone this, or you can check if this array is empty or not, or you can check or you can trim this array to the size of something. So let's try to trim this. List dot trim to size. Okay, and what this method is doing is it trims the size of the array to the number of element it contains. For example, initial size of this array was 5 and we have just provided 3, then it trims your array to 3 itself instead of initial size. Okay, so trimming means just cutting the size of the array to the number of element it contains, which is 3. So in this way you can use many more method on this list, but I hope you have enjoyed you have learned the basic concept of array list, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and bye.